deep inside of it. I'm here with my good friend Lacoste and Shiver, along with Owen. Shiva and Owen
Hello.
are around. Owen is...
Camera will be back with you
Hello,
shortly.
Twitch chat.
Don't worry, guys. We were just kind of enthralled with the LGDE home match, so we kind of forgot time, but we're here as 2 elimination matches on the same time, and obviously if you were watching, well, they were not there. That's fine. You know, it's okay. I made my point.
I just checked the win percentage during this major.
remaining.
Phantom Assassin, 72% win rate. Second best one, Brewmaster, 60%. I mean, how do you just let Phantom Assassin get through? Seems like Alliance has a plan to counter it. We saw in the game yesterday against OG, Dragonite was highly contested, and they don't want to play without it, what it seems to be.
True.
Koikwa does what he needs to do with the hero, puts a lot of pressure on the towers. The hero barely loses his lane, even though he got
10
bullied
seconds
in one of those games yesterday, still managed to come back.
5 seconds
Excellent analysis.
remaining.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yes, you're a true analyst. Phoenix PA. I
Radiant
feel like this
team
benefits the
back.
final tribe. I think Era is much better on these 5s that are heavy spellcasters. And I think that they are much more comfortable with a true 1 position for Frost. He's not a typical like Veno type player. He is the me want farm guy. Also a Han player. Sheeves will be happy to know. And was famous for his Forsaken Archer. Another pretty
10
much like a
seconds
rip-off
remaining.
Medusa.
5
Dragonite
seconds
Grimstroke,
remaining.
as you
Dire
said.
team
Well,
back.
this is a nice combination. You can get the stun on 2 targets. Could be great.
Could be amazing.
Back to you, Owen.
Owen's just chilling there, finishing his game of Artifact.
Yeah.
So they need a hero to protect the egg with. Phantom Assassin doesn't provide
10
any.
seconds
I think we
remaining.
discussed a couple of days ago that Phantom Assassin is really great against
5
the egg. You
seconds
go on the
remaining.
target with the Blink Strike, and then you can just keep the attack speed, hit the egg. Could they get the Drow Ranger? Drow Ranger, high attack speed, good against the egg, but then you're kind of forcing yourself into a lineup with the physical damage
Radiant
against the
team.
PA, 50% magic evasion. Oh, this is the hero that I like. His win percentage is not that great, but the hero itself still good. If you were watching Chinese qualifiers, Centaur just builds into Crimson Guard, some casual armor. Crimson Guard also gives him armor plate mail. He had a Heart of Tarask. He pretty much
seconds
solo-handedly won the game for them. The new, what's it called? Retaliate?
5 seconds
Retaliate.
You get like 400, 500 damage per hit. It's so easy to siege the towers with.
Oh, we're back. What's up, boys and girls? Oh, no, JJ, get the hell out of here. No one wants... I'm just kidding. It's fine. Ugh.
All right, JJ, thoughts. Who's going to win the draft?
remaining. Dire team pick.
Duska.
Tag team.
All right, never mind. PFP, here we go.
I don't know. Do we like that here?
I'm not
good
sure what to feel
PA.
about the Tusk.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds
Hello.
remaining.
Not like
you could
Alliance
join us.
draft better.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah. The only concern is the PA, and I like the tag team with PA. Scary. But Alliance is also the team that actually won with PA multiple times. I'm sure they have a thing in mind to counter it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have let it.
What happens when you double it?
Double edge.
You get a double
damage.
edge.
Yeah.
No, you
No.
get the damage on both
Both
targets.
targets.
Quadruple edge. Quadruple edge.
It doesn't work that way. It just deals damage to same damage to 2 targets. All right,
So what are
so
they lacking?
Your alliance, you got to think about. I guess it could be a centaur support. I think it's more likely an offlaner just
That's
after
a
the
boxy
changes to
centaur.
reallocate. Yeah, exactly. So you're thinking about your 4
Radiant
position here,
team
unless they want to make that the Grimstroke, or they just
Oh, that's
okay. That's
Love
aggressive.
it. 2 beefy heroes with the new Luna ulti, and,
and they won.
They had
With
an
the
IO though.
Yeah.
They had an
That's
IO
true.
that game.
Mm.
It's
They
a,
had a lot of sustain. They don't have any sustain.
yeah, exactly. And this is a tougher Luna game as well. Like you're going up against a
10
PA. You're not an
seconds
MKB
remaining.
buyer, and a BKB PA just forces you can't ever really man up on that.
5 seconds.
And in addition,
remaining.
you're not the greatest against Tusk or Phoenix. It's easy to snowball your ulti. The lockdown even through BKB.
But if anybody can do it, it's Mickey. Definitely, I think the star player
That's
of the
true.
squad. One thing to note also for people that have been a little out of touch, Luna's aura now increases the prime attribute of the heroes close to her, which in theory, or rather in practice, means that you kind of want to have a lot of strength heroes with her because that increases their HP and their status resistance. It's all making everybody extra beefy, which is great, especially with the Centaur and the DK.
Yes.
So
Beef,
great combo right now.
indeed.
But again, sustain, lacking. Where's the Undying?
Where?
Maybe Undying last. Is Undying bad? Oh, hey. Oracle's
Dire
still in.
Team ban.
That's true. Oh,
All right, that's the
pick.
beef.
That's a great
perfect
pick.
response.
Yeah, it's super good against Luna and Gyro and Medusa in an unexpected way because obviously you can buy a Crimson Guard, but that aura limiting the base damage of a hero like Luna means that all the glaives are also going to be reduced.
Yep.
And because those are decreased in damage multiplicatively as they bounce, like every
10 seconds
piece
remaining.
of point of damage is just super effective down the line.
5
You're also
seconds remaining.
a high magic damage hero, and you do raw HP or
Radiant
percent-based
team
HP damage to
ban.
2 of the heroes with the highest strength gain in Dota, Dragon Knight, and Centaur. Yep. You're standing in the pit.
Oh no. Razor has been banned.
Oh, no.
Whatever will we do?
Owen, come back here. Thoughts on Razor?
Thoughts on Razor being
is
banned?
a garbage hero. Razor's like one of those heroes that
10
if you're a
seconds
drafter,
remaining.
and you're like, I feel like drafting SF, but I'd rather draft
5
something that's even more
seconds
shit.
remaining.
Then Razor's one of the heroes in the game that you can look towards. So anyway, I don't know why they banned it. I mean, sure, TFT play it, but if they were to pick it last, that would have been a free win for Alliance. So Alliance, they just want to sort of challenge themselves a bit. They want to make sure that the final tribe doesn't draft themselves into an auto loss.
Wait, Dazzle is still
So
in the
kudos
pool.
No,
to
Dazzle
Alliance.
was first banned on the side of Final Tribe.
All right.
So there's
That makes a lot of
no
sense.
real
10
saving
seconds
supports
remaining.
left in the pool with Oracle being banned. Undying is still there for... I don't
5
know. Is there any
seconds
supports that
remaining.
you could really consider saving support?
Dire team pick.
Admiral Concar.
Another great hero against
Shadow
Luna, the damage
Demon
reduction.
is a saving support.
It is not good in a game like this, though. They have
Shadow
so much
Demon
For
Luna.
Alliance?
They have too much illusion clear.
Okay.
I think you need... You know what's sick here? The Timber Saw.
How,
Yeah, wait,
how they're gonna
uh,
fit all these heroes?
I don't
Like,
know.
I think they need a position 5/4.
But I don't know what
depending
the-
what
is
the
Dazzle
Grimstroke
in the
wants
pool?
to play. No,
Dazzle's
he's
out.
gone.
Oracle out.
5 seconds
when was
remaining.
Dazzle banned? Second phase?
Dazzle's first ban by Final
Oh,
Tribe.
yeah. That was a good move by Final. I like their bans. They got rid of Lich as well. It's just a...
Wait,
I
wait,
feel
wait, Bane's still there. Do you not like Bane? Are you saying you don't like Bane?
Not in this.
Oh, there's the Timbersaw. Who said that? Who said that? All right.
Good. Good prediction, Kyle.
Great prediction.
I'm not
Kyle.
taking anything away from you.
We'll give you that one.
I want my cash back.
So this is this is dope. What? Because you got 4 strength heroes on the side of the final tribe. There's no real magical burst damage.
Yeah, and you just put the
That's
Centaur
gonna
on
prevent
support.
him.
Mhm.
And
Give some bog champs in chat
Boxy
for
Timber
Kyle.
is pretty fire.
Yeah. Well, they're still debating if it's going to be...
Well, I mean,
Boxy
Boxy has,
Timber
but
or-
no way Tiger plays it. Like, you can't play support
You
Timber.
could.
You could.
No,
Tiger,
you
could.
cannot.
Tiger can do everything.
Support
You-
Timbersaw.
you can do
That is
anything.
not a thing. Yeah,
Owen-
of course it's not. Boxy's playing Timber. There's no way.
I don't mind
I'll give you
it.
the Timber, but support Timbersaw.
10
That is
seconds
not
remaining.
happening.
we were just...
Yeah.
But look,
But it's not.
It's
Boxy
a great
Timber.
Timber game
Yeah.
because
5
you don't...
seconds
there is
remaining.
a Spirit Vessel that'll probably be picked up on Era or Hanskin. Probably Hanskin because he's the 4 position. That is something troublesome for you. But you should have a good lane against any of these TFT heroes. It's just going to be very important that they activate boxy. Ideally, you want to either pull creep waves or harass supports away from the lane so that you can get level 3 ASAP, and then Timber can just sit there, no problem. He does not die to any of these heroes.
If this Timbersaw gets a lot of farm, the final tribe needs to play on a different side of the map where Timbersaw is just completely ignore him. It feels like a good Timber game. The question I have is Soulbind plus Luna ulti, how does that work?
No,
it doesn't work. What do you mean? It's
only
targeted
single
spells.
targets and spells.
If you target one hero,
But at least you get 2 Lucent Beams.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get
You
double
Target
Lucent
the
Beam.
spell on a hero.
So
that's
they get
affected by
a
Soulbind.
Dragon Tail, they get the Lucent Beam, they get the Double Edge.
Yes.
Other than that, there
No,
are no targetable
I was wondering
spells,
because
right?
it's kind of spell. It's kind of Lucent Beam. The level you have of a Lucent Beam, so maybe it counts as a targeted spell.
No.
No, it makes more sense.
No.
All right. For people that tuned in after the draft was complete, we are in the first game. Final Tribe versus Alliance, the Swedish showdown. Which one of these two teams will make it to the major? It is the lower bracket decider match for the European qualifiers of the major presented by Starladder and Imba TV. JJ is on the camera, and on the microphone we got Kyle, we got the Cost, we got ODPixel, and myself, Shaver. Let's go and see who will take this first game. Overall, I think from the games we've seen over the last couple of days, I would say Alliance is a little bit stronger.
We didn't see any of
We haven't
TFT
seen
games.
We haven't
TFT. No,
seen
we've not
TFT.
casted any
True.
TFT. And I think in the past, because the teams know each other well, I would say in this matchup, I would favour TFT as a team. But for sort of similar reasons why I favoured Alliance in other matchups yesterday. You know, TFT, they've been this robust lineup for a long time. I think, well, they did have one player change sort of along the road, but other than that, they haven't changed the core of their
30
roster for
seconds to battle.
like a year or so. It's been a long time TFT has been TFT for the most part. And I think that does pay off a lot, especially when you're sort of playing in this sort of qualified level Dota. It's why we saw, you know, TFT last season qualify for a decent amount of lands. Like they were crushing EU qualifiers, always taking sort of that second slot at least to get themselves to a fair few lands. But the lineup this game, they do have this PA that, as we know, has been kind of an auto win here. It's like 72% win rate across qualifiers. I do like Alliance's approach though and play with the Luna and Strength heroes around it. I think that is going to allow them to have a lot of beef. They do have good control for the PA. This PA is going to have to get BKB pretty fast in the build if she wants to just go ham and look to jump in on these heroes. And they've got good ways to keep the PA alive. They have the Sunray, they had the save from the Tusk, they've got the Kunkka with the boat. They do have a lot of ways to keep the PA pretty safe. But most, like all of their damage output at a point is going to be the PA.
I like what Alliance did with their draft. They picked 3 of their cores who are pretty beefy and have high armor, so kind of counterpick to a TA. This is what we see way more often now. I think OG was the one who started it first. Try lane at the start, then rotate one of the heroes on the other lane.
Yep, it's something that people used to do in the past before we moved into the dual lane only style, but I like it. Especially when you have heroes like Grimstroke and Centaur. They're so powerful together, and you don't want to let Luna 1v1 initial waves against an Underlord.
I mean, they know Taiga is here. Does Grimstroke have Q? Not
Yes.
killing anything.
And I will say that the specific support duo of Alliance, I have not seen them use it, but in other regions, these two heroes work so well together. You just Inkswell on your Centaur, and he runs in and lands a stun into double edge.
Yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous. And even at level 2, level 3, you're able to output 500 burst damage with multiple stuns. It's so sick. The slow as well from the paintbrush of Grimstroke afterwards. Like, it's just so much CC.
Yeah. No, I think Alliance. I think we are going to see the strength of it.
That was one combo. They're not even level 2 yet, and they already forced a self.
Yeah, Luna plus 2 strength here. The way to go in lane. It's just such a beefy lane that you don't normally expect to find a Luna in, but when you sort of run it like this, it makes it very hard to actually get to the Luna and punish the fact that early on in the game the hero is quite squishy.
They're doing a good job. They got lane control, but they gotta make sure they don't get double waved by the Underlord. Mid, the Kunkka's gonna pick up DD. That'll help a lot against Koifa. Pretty Kunkka favored matchup once you get to the later levels. top.
I feel like,
Timbersaw is A-okay by himself, as we expected.
I feel like Boyko, when he plays a Dragonite, uses a lot of his mana early on, and instead of getting 2 points in Breathe Fire, he should get 2 points in Dragon Blood, so you only have mana for 1 spell left.
This is the double waiver concerned about. But the thing is, to your point, you just don't take enough harass, I think, to warrant it. Otherwise, I would agree. But Kunkka just kind of never really threatens a kill or really heavy harass. Was he 1-2? Yeah. So this is where the Timber just no longer actually takes damage. And I'm surprised he didn't pick up a stick right away, just because he'd get so much free mana from the daggers of Frost.
But I mean, I don't think Frost is going to be casting dagger.
It's level 1 daggers instead of sharing experience. I don't see Magic Wand being picked up at all, besides if you play against the Bristleback, against the Batrider.
Is that what just because we've all sort of the Wraith Bands, the Braces,
that
that
are way better
yeah,
now.
there's just better sort of little value items.
Or if you're facing a Triad.
Yes. First Blood, Alliance.
There's not much you can do about that one, folks.
Now we're going to bring the Phoenix in.
I don't know if that's the right move here. I'm pretty sure PA is going to get annihilated up top by himself. You cannot lane this, especially when he's at a full level disadvantage. The 2 Wraith Bands will help his last hitting, but still.
Just what I've been waiting for.
It's pretty pointless to harass Timbersaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you can't pull back to the range.
At what point do we feel, because last hit-wise it looks like Final Tribe is doing okay. At what point do we feel like Alliance's aggressive tri-lane is... sorry, never mind. They're lane swapping. They're
really?
already swapping it
Why?
up, yeah. They
That
don't-
is so curious to me. I feel like the Timber, if he gets ahead, is unkillable. The Luna is obviously important, but I feel like you always have a game as Mickey. Also, Timber is very level dependent, whereas Luna really isn't. Obviously, you want max blades, but
They put way more pressure on the top lane with the Luna and Grimstroke, and they can't really kill
and
Timbersaw
Zany is
on
level 2
bottom
though.
anyway.
He has to be careful.
He's gonna be level 5, 3 points in reactive armor. What is Husk Hunterlord gonna do? Can't really touch him.
Look at the damage. I mean, Chelsea, pretty beefy on that old Kunkka with the braces. Nice,
Nice torrent.
2-man torrent to shine on them as they unable to lock him down long enough. That was top lane Mickey. What's Mickey doing up here?
That we just talked about that.
Oh, sorry.
Swap lanes. They're also, the reply comes from the Final Tribe to also swap their lanes. We already see the PA teleporting bottom lane answer to that.
yeah, but it's gonna get. I mean, I like this in the sense that because they're forcing a swap back, Luna tri-lane, like, look, you know, you see just the chasing power they're gonna have as in red, but oh my, like that, you see what I'm talking about?
Oh, okay.
That is a 1,000 almost HP Underlord that just dies from full health because the crazy damage output of the support duo. And bottom now, you have Timber in the best value lane. You want him in the off lane to apply
Dire's
pressure,
middle
and a
tower
PA
is
still
under
underleveled.
attack.
I don't know if you can really contest this guy.
Definitely not going to be an easy game, but on the bright side there, Kunkka is doing very well in the mid lane. Also 12 denies.
I'm still like how. Like surely that the creep really hurt Kunkka. Like he really is not the hero that he wants to be.
The thing is, you still have an ability that gives you bonus damage on denies. No one else
Sure,
has that.
that's true for the laning, and I mean the boat rum is always going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just effectively you get 3 denies if DK doesn't have dragon.
But you're not that incredible sort of late game one-shot damage output at all, are you anymore? Really?
Not really, but you're playing Kunkka differently. Now you're buying all the utility items, an early BKB,
Radiant's middle
armlet,
tower is
halberd.
under attack.
It's back to this new generation of having your mid-game hero pick up all those 2 to 3k
Dire's
gold
middle
items
tower is
and
under
play
attack.
around your one position that can really get fat. And in this case, both teams have that, where you have the DK and the Kunkka for the cheap items, and then they're hard carries that are going to try and soak up everything else.
Yeah, I've seen during this qualifiers, Kunkka's picking up AC as a 3rd/4th item because of the armor change.
I like that.
You don't want to go for just raw damage in Daedalus unless you're playing against an illusion hero. Pretty static game. 2-1, 7 minutes in. Timbersaw, they can't really kill him on the bottom. I'm just wondering what the PA is gonna buy this game. She's gonna need an early BKB, and I feel like Dezo is a way to go because they need to lower the armor up.
Did you buy a stick on Timber? And the 2 bracers, my man.
And he's
Value.
unkillable now.
Yeah, and this is the thing about the Timber pick, where he's just got to make sure he pressures. What was the game we watched yesterday with the Timber Saw? Is that Liquid?
Liquid.
Yeah, Matumba Man just straight up pushed 5 towers by himself by 20 minutes. I want to see Boxy do something similar.
There's the torrent combo missed hit by Jesse. It doesn't look like it will matter though. They still have the snowball.
Oh,
across.
he's very speedy.
They should have.
He's running away. They don't have the extra vision.
I mean,
He's got the stick
he's
charges.
making them spend their time.
Oh, dodges the torrent. Oh,
There
he's
we
stuck.
go. Double edge.
Oh,
Good try, but worth it. That's an
a
empty
lot
kill.
of, and a lot of space wasted.
Indeed. Bear in mind, look bottom lane. You still have a completely alone Timbersaw now. Frost has realized this is not where he wants to be.
No, he went mid. When the Kuka left mid, PA went mid instead.
But now where does Chessie? He's jungle. That's not where he wants to be. This is the danger of being forced to stack a lane against one of these crazy strong 10th pick heroes like Timber.
We have a Miracle Techies on Beyond the Summer 2, and this is, of course, a Techies in a match that is not deciding people to go to the major, because both Liquid and Secret are going to the major. It is a seeding match, aka it doesn't really mean
It doesn't matter.
that
Same thing that I
much.
told JJ before. We're gonna see some techies today.
Yeah, this is the day to take.
If you remember the Kuala Lumpur qualifiers, it were the same type of matches as the ones that, for example, had MIP not ban out a single hero in the matches that they had at that point. This fight, by the way, is going pretty decently for the final tribe. Was going pretty decently for the final tribe.
It works in that you force the Timber back up top and you have a relatively even trade. Both carries are suffering, which I think is a big plus for the squad of Alliance, because PA doesn't really deal with a Timbersaw that becomes very far ahead of him. And in fact, you have a real difficult time even touching him. Where's the magic damage from the side of Final Tribe outside of a Kunkka combo and maybe an Underlord Q? I expect we'll see a Holy Locket on the Timber again.
Yeah, I want to see it.
So strong in this game. I actually think that item makes the hero possibly just busted. Yesterday I saw Timber with 150 health regen per second. He wasn't
Yeah,
even,
that's
he was
crazy.
like 4 slotted.
And Luna, if she gets behind, she has an easier time getting the stacks in the jungle
Yeah.
going, and she doesn't necessarily need that much other than her aura. She actually is really useful buffing up her teammates. Something that PA
Yeah,
obviously
in
cannot do.
CIS region I saw Luna's getting 2 points in Lucent Beam and just maxing other spells. You want to farm the jungle and then join a team fight. The most primary attribute is possible. Look at this hero.
Yeah, very nice play from Boxy. Perfect spell placement.
Yeah. And the other thing about Luna is that you're not really a gold dependent carry. Sure, you'd love to have an early Mask of Madness, but because of the build Mickey is going, you can see 2-3-1, maxing out those glaives right away. He's ready to rock and roll. He can farm jungle now freely. If you look at the PA, he needs a lot more gold or the benefit of like some Magnus or something to be able to effectively clear creep waves. And it's going to mean that Mickey shoots out ahead of him as this game progresses. But that Deso timing, gotta watch and wait for that, because that's when PA will really become a threat. But does anything threaten Boxy? Question.
So in terms of disables, they don't really have too much either to threaten Boxy. They got the X
Well,
mod.
the X is pretty good, and with the Underlord's pit.
Yeah. But that's the only thing they
can
have,
but
right?
The problem is, like, even if they had a lot of disabled, they just don't have the damage. It doesn't, I feel like it doesn't really matter how long you hold down this Timbersaw. You just don't have the items or the means to kill him at this stage. It's just so huge. He's gonna pick up the plate
Yeah.
now.
And more importantly, I think that Alliance is so much more comfortable with this setup where where Boxy and Mickey are going to be the ones actually clearing waves and securing the late game, and Koif is free to play more of this space-making initiator type hero. And he's already got a Shadow Blade to go with that double bracer. He's had a great time, and he can just play with this Timber now. I'm pretty sure PA dies in a combo if he's able to land a stun, but
I just don't see who this PA is killing this game
Yeah.
for a very long time, because of the way that Alliance have drafted this this mass beef that's able to group up, go down lanes, and make it very hard for this PA. You know, Frosty's desperately trying to find the farm for a Battle Fury so he can eventually get himself in the game. It's just going to come at TFT a little faster than they can actually bring it to Alliance themselves. There's Alliance with the 2K lead at the moment. Foxy and Koifer very much at the top. The Mouse Command is picked up for mid-K, so to clean up a little Ancient stack.
Trying to get the double stack.
Oh,
Will he get it?
oh, he got it. He's got it. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's got it.
The value.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Bear in mind, he just got a kill if he did, and he's been farming lanes, yet Mickey is about to even up the net worth and product of how well you can farm a jungle as a Luna.
Dire structures
And
are
we talk
fortified.
about easy to execute lineups. I feel like
Radiant
Alliance
structures
is
are
right up
fortified.
that alley. And they're just going to shove down top lane.
Yep.
They're two big beefs. Mickey just farming the triple
Radiant's
camp.
top tower
No
is
fear.
under attack.
Seems like TFT wants to play this
Dire's
super
bottom
late
tower
game,
is
just
under
drag the
attack.
game as much as possible. PA is building towards Battle Fury. They want to get the items up on Underlord as well. We still didn't see a successful combo from Kunkka. They're kind of playing really passive right now, but they're going to lose a lot of their towers, and it also opens up the Roche for Alliance,
Dire's
considering that PA
bottom
is going for
tower
Battle Fury, so her damage output is going to be really low.
Oh no, they're going to catch Timber up top of the X, but just kidding.
Perfect timing with the chain.
Under attack.
Obviously, got to pull himself away from the combo
Oh,
to
no.
get dragged back. Bottom lane, Alliance, they find themselves the big one. They get Frost. They knock that PA back even further.
You can't afford to miss your X-Torrent combo in 2018. It's almost 2019 if you want to play pro. I mean, this is the second time already in this game, and the Alliance is going to punish that.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
swapped.
she's gonna-
I think that's the right
Dire's
move.
top
I've seen
tower is under
Yeah, you have
attack.
to go.
yesterday
I
I
think
saw
now.
the Complexity PA go Deso instead of Battle Fury, and I just didn't like it at all. You fall off.
I think especially when you're like the only Frost knows the only way that
Yeah.
they can get back in this game if they keep it going long enough to get active to Battle Fury. Like they're not going to get kills at this point.
Exactly. It's like you just need to be able to clear waves. You can't play a carry in 2018 and not be able to kill creep waves because the other team just sees that and realizes they actually have no pressure. You can ensure that you never take a disadvantage just 5-on-5 and you outfarm the whole game.
I have to disagree on you with this one. I think
Dire's
Alliance
middle tower is under
could be
attack.
able to close this game in next 5 to 10 minutes, open up the Roche, group up as
No, I think
five.
they definitely
I agree,
can.
I agree.
I'm
I'm
just
just
thinking it's
saying-
TFT's
talking about
only
PA's.
way.
Yeah,
items,
because
yeah.
PA is not going to have damage with just the raw Battle Fury.
But Adesso wouldn't help, and it would mean that the clock is removed. Like, you're all in on the 10% chance you can fight Alliance, and if you don't, like, you just lost because you're not going to scale.
No, I think like
Dire's
already this
middle
game
tower
is
is
like.
under attack.
Can we have what does Dota Plus think about like the Luna draft? Doesn't see for me it feels much more like this is like 70+% Alliance, maybe even 80. Just the way that they're playing and the fact that this PA is sort of out of the game. You're gonna try and jump in onto Foxy. And they kill him though.
Oh, he's so fast.
He's out of there. He's gonna have another chain to get out of the shards.
Yeah.
They can't kill him. They can't trap him down.
They need to find a different target. They
Yes,
should just
yes.
try not to get the Timbersaw involved.
A tip for the players at home: when you have a Timbersaw, you want to avoid him. He is the grizzly bear. Okay, you don't mess with him. You just try and take out his friends in the forest.
Yeah, that's not a Yogi Bear. That's a
Yeah, exactly.
grizzly bear.
Wait,
Get it.
is Yogi Bear not very scary?
No,
Oh.
Yogi Bear just wants what's in your picnic basket. He doesn't want your blood.
What about Yogi Bear's little helper? Wasn't he the one?
Boo Boo Bear?
Boo Boo Bear.
Boo Boo Bear.
Boo Boo Bear. Well,
He was the one that was the brain behind it all.
you know, we talk about cosplaying in Dota 2. I actually think Frost right now looks a little bit like Boo Boo Bear because he's not going to do any damage whatsoever to anyone on Alliance.
Did they ever do a Yogi Bear Flintstones crossover?
They should have.
They
Dire's
should have.
middle tower is under attack.
They weren't set in the
It's a
same.
great Halloween
were they
costume
weren't in the
idea.
same. Were they in the same timeline?
They were not in
No.
the same
No.
timeline because in Flintstones there were no picnic baskets. And no cars. with
There were
picnic
cars.
They had cars.
Flintstones.
They had cars in the
cars.
Yeah, but not with
Yeah, but
engines.
I'm pretty sure a ranger had a car in Boo Boo Bear as well.
Yeah, but
It's the greatest tagline.
you can't say that.
What do you mean?
Yabba Dabba 2.
Why not?
It's copyrighted. You're gonna get.
towards cavemen.
That's true. I wouldn't want to appropriate their culture.
Yeah.
Oh, Hans gun. The glove is there to catch the gank. Alliance will take that kill. Most likely going to be unable to find another, but I love the positioning. This is how you want to use your smokes. Not only do they place vision, but they're going to surround this tier 2 tower. And
Oh, he's got an X on him. Bye-bye.
They placed that vision right
fine.
next to his.
Oh, he's
Sentinel.
silenced now. He's fine. We're time with
he is good. That hero has 2,400 health with armlet
Dire's
up on.
bottom tower
Yep.
is under
And
attack.
yeah, the bracers.
Still a decent timing on a Battle Fury. You have a hero who can defend the high ground. You have an Underlord. He can also split
Yeah.
push a little bit if needed.
I just, again, like, imagine if you had a Deso and they tried to take a fight, then lost it. The game would just be over. But now, you know that the way Dota works right now, the pace is slow. And you can trust that you will at some point have the time. And yeah, Holy Locket next. That's what you
I
said.
love the item on Timbersaw.
Yeah.
Like new Bloodstone feels so shitty. I don't know. It feels like you're wasting 5,000 gold for
Oh.
nothing. You can buy so many different items.
Yeah.
He has a Lotus Orb, so he can remove if there's a Spirit Vessel, dodge some spells as well. I really like it.
Dire
Yeah, I do
are
too.
scanning.
It also gives you some initial armor if you're starting a fight against a PA, so
Yeah.
you don't have what 4 armor.
And that's something you got to be concerned about, is that if you don't pick up that early armor item, a PA that finds you out of blur
Yeah.
might just kill you in a couple crits. I think this is the right decision. I also like that I don't like that Bloodstone rush anymore. It's just not as value. The mana regen isn't as high as it used to be.
I don't
And
like
it's much better to
Bloodstone
have that
at
early-
all. I don't think the hero should buy this item.
Yeah, if you go Holy Locket and Lotus Orb, you have armor, you have magic
Radiant are
resist,
scanning.
you've got
And-
extra bonus on your regen. It's
And
just
then you
such a
can build
ridiculous combo.
into either Aghanim Scepter or Shiva's Guard, whatever you feel like.
And look at Mickey's net worth, by the way. Remember, he was jungling at level 5,
Yeah,
but
I mean, he's
he,
but he's
Yeah.
been they never he's been totally uninterrupted. He's
Yeah.
just had all the space in this area of the,
yeah,
in
this
the world.
Look, this is the area of the map I've dubbed the Masturbatorium, because all you got to do is sit in here, relax, enjoy yourself, have a good time. When you come out, you're going to be fully satisfied, and that's exactly what Mickey's
Yeah, I
doing.
mean, I
He's going to be
think-
10k net worth in 20 minutes.
I don't know what TFT do this game. It's like where are the answers?
Alliance is gonna get 2 BKBs up, probably gonna go for Roche and just try to take the tier 3 towers.
Like I really feel like when you drafted against Alliance, you don't want to let them have this sort of Luna plus Bruisers lineup, like, because they've worked something out that just fits this patch perfectly, and they're smashing games with it.
And I like the decision Alliance has made. They're abandoning the bottom area of the map, and they're taking possession of the top Radiant Shrine. I've talked about this over and over for the last couple of months, but you'll always see these top teams in that area of the map because it forces Roche. As long as you control this, they'd love to get that D ward off, and then they can safely Roche, knowing that they'll have full control and vision of TFT if they try and invade. And they do that one ward on the high ground, you can see. It's a very confident Roche, right? Because they don't have just control of the pit, but of the entire area within a bubble about 2,000 units wide.
Okay, there's totally free Roche for them.
Alliance TFT has a really good anti-Roche / Roche lineup, but they can't fight.
I mean, because surely, I'm going to see them come down here to hold this and look for kills. They're going to go for Jonas and Van. Do they have the damage before he's going to be brought out by the ult? That's the question. They will not. He's got the mech. He's fine. He's able to burst and heal himself and get back to safety. But the Roshan will be taken. Mickey's got the Aegis on top of the BKB. There is a pipe ready for the Underlord, so they do have the defensive capabilities. Alliance are good to push. Quakefoot on the hunt for Chessie.
Killed Zania in the mid lane. Way out of position there. And the key for both teams is going to be ignore the beef
Dire's top
and
tower
get to the
is under
fillet.
attack.
Yeah.
All right, you got to take out the carries. Ignore the Timber, ignore the Underlord, who, by the way, is a very underrated late game hero. Just because of your ability to get out with that Uber service to ensure that you don't lose some seriously bad team fight. And in addition, look at that. He's almost going to have Greaves and to go with the pipe. That's a lot of damage mitigation when you consider no one on Alliance is really capable of purchasing those items. It's going to be a big advantage. That represents like 1,000 health per player on his team.
alone.
That's somewhere here.
Okay, Timbersaw, by the way, though, does that. I
Boxes.
forgot. I've got pure damage,
Yeah.
folks. Armor, magic resist. It don't mean nada.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, look at this siege from Timbersaw.
Oh.
Destroying the tower. What
Look at the
talent did he go
health regen.
for?
Who's he got what? 70,
Good luck, folks.
78.
Dire's bottom
Oh.
tower is under attack.
Why? Why did it go from 77 points to 78 points? Is that just a one stat? Oh, he leveled up.
Radiant's
There we go.
middle tower
Oh, that's the answer. It was a quick quiz.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
He's doing the budget panda stuff. Just trying to force a move.
Budget panda.
Yeah, I mean,
High
when
ground.
Panda uses a split, you
Dire's
just...
bottom
Oh,
tower
PA
is
has
under
BKB.
Base race!
Luna will win this with the DK, but keep in mind, PA's doing a lot of damage back there.
Base
He's
race.
winning. That's the change in the
Blightstone.
talent.
Oh!
Yep. She can jump to the creeps as long as they don't die. To
Did
get
they
the
cancel some
going.
TPs it?
They've gotta
And
get
no
this
tier 3
3
tower down
base
on that
race.
side. The base race actually has PA doing...
TFT won the
More
base
damage
race.
at the
They got a tier 3.
Oh, they have a centaur now.
Oh. Kill the egg?
Well, they're
BKBs are out.
They're just killing the
Oh,
eggs.
they're just going to kill everyone now, aren't they? Just hit them, Nick.
Oh my
hit
god,
them.
Frost. He still has ulti on Luna along with the Aegis. Foxy is full HP.
Oh. They're trying to get back him with the Eclipse, but Mickey, he's sort of eclipsed inside the trees. He can't get out. Do any damage with it?
Yeah, he
feel
was
like
trying to get on top of Frost PA, but wasn't able to land.
That was a final try victory, if you ask
for
me.
you
sure.
got a
Look
tier
at the net
3.
worth that Frost got
Yeah.
off that.
That
He got-
is crazy.
he got like 5 creep waves and a tier 3 tower all by himself, and all of a
Full
sudden,
Greaves.
this is why you buy Battle Fury, folks. It's an investment in your future. All right, start saving money, not for college, but for life. You want to be able to take that vacation, but don't do it when you're 25. Do it when you're 80.
What?
When you're done working.
No, dude.
Yeah, what are you gonna do on a vacation in your 80s? Shit
I
in
just-
diapers.
I just saw a news article saying that the average lifespan had to be recalculated because it went down, the life expectancy, because there are so many young people dying early. So you don't want to wait.
You know why they're dying? Oh shit! The snowball after the Lotus. Is that
And
Christina?
he
Yeah.
is
The Snowball Lotus.
Timber is
actually bought time.
Boxy.
The
Final Crab's out.
The Snowball saved his enemy.
Did you read
with that Lotus play?
entire article? Do you know why?
No, well,
The young
I saw
people
the
are dying?
I saw the highlights. I think it's mostly suicide and
Yeah.
drugs, right?
Sorry.
I mean, when
That's not a laughing matter, Sheever.
No, it's
Jesus.
the change.
No, no,
those sort of stats. It's always you got to remember it's inflated by the fact that we are just much better at collecting stats nowadays. So we don't know. You know that's always such a huge factor when you hear these things. Oh, nowadays more people stick chocolate up their bum than they did 20 years ago. Well, 20 years ago we weren't going around checking them and putting a dairy milk up their bottom.
That's very good. Thank you for
love you, Owen.
clarifying. That's a very
Never
good
knew
point.
that.
It's how we collect the data.
And that is important, and it leads to a greater point, which is that
Radiant's middle
statistics
tower is under
lie. In fact, it's a fact
Radiant's middle
that
tower
about
has
70% of all statistics are just pulled out of one's bum.
Like that one.
Dairy milk in, stats out. Don't trust what people say. Most
Back
of
to the
all,
game.
me.
Pushing the base. Can they? Oh, they don't have Chessie for 20 seconds still.
Yeah, no buyback.
So, Lions
Frost is
should-
still pushing bottom.
And they should be able to grab at least the racks.
He's DP now. He's got Deso.
Yeah, sell his tango.
so close.
Sell his tango
sold
for
his
5
tango,
gold.
But it wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough?
Sell a Wraith band. No, JK, don't do that. It's the most broken
Will
out.
he
can't
have it
do
in
that.
5 seconds? Is the question. I don't think they're gonna.
He
try
doesn't
to
have the death, so he's 10 gold short.
They got it.
There we go. What did he? Wait, what did he get?
Oh, boxing.
Radiant's bottom tower
They have no
is under
stuns,
attack.
though.
Radiant got a tower up top.
Oh,
That's
the
how I
tier 1 tower that the creeps got gave him the money for the death. So good job, creeps.
Will they actually be able to do the damage? Looks like
Oh,
no.
Tiger! Four-man hoot stomp. And
Look
now
at
the
the clip.
Eclipse. They're coming in. Alliance ready to look for the cleanup. But Chessie blocks the BKB. Tried to stab the cleave, but they've lost the egg. The Phoenix is dead. 70 seconds without the Phoenix. They do get the X mark onto Tiger, dragging him back. He's going to have hoot stomp again. Can he get it out? Yes, he can on the two of them, but the snowball safe there. He tries with the double edge, but he's already dead. They've lost 2 on Alliance. TFT
Breathe.
only lose 1.
Grieve Aura kept him alive there.
50%
That low
miss
fast 3 auto
chance.
attack did like no damage. So much regen and armor just by being near the Underlord when he's low HP, but will it matter because the damage output of the Kunkin Underlord just isn't there?
I think Luna's had enough. She's gonna buy an MKB.
Yeah, you got to get
Yeah,
him.
I agree. I like it.
Like they can keep her alive.
can-
They just need to do the. They need to make sure they can finish off these
I
kills.
love the item build too. You see a lot of Lunas get greedy. Some of them go this like Sanjin Yasha build. Sometimes Manta. I like that he even skipped the Yasha just for
Yeah,
mass
he's gonna disassemble
Pike
it.
BKB. So important
not.
that he was able to get that item up fast and look back to the ancients.
Just farm that little, what is he, 100 gold, and he's got MKB.
Yep.
There we have it.
What's the road to victory for a final tribe?
More items on PA.
More
and they
items
need
on
pick off.
PA.
They need a couple pick-offs, and they need to contest the next Roche. It's Aegis, really. If you get an Aegis on TFT, this game is equalized. Dota Plus, probably like 73% favor of Alliance. Am I right or am I right? I'm always right. And that Aegis makes it 50. It's
And
one
that's another
mistake.
stats.
It is good Dota. This is for the major qualification. The two best teams out of Sweden. What? What?
She's laughing about always right part, I think.
All the stats, yeah. There's some of these facts, there's some of these stats that are just
80% of the time I'm right 100% of the time, which is as good as every time. Shoes.
and at the same time you said that 70% of the facts were of the stats were wrong.
Add up 70 and 80%. What do you get? That's right, 150.
And that's another one, ladies and gentlemen. Alright,
Anyway.
Alliance is doing pretty well. They have to just maintain their league. We saw them earlier lose a tier 3, so they can be
Radiant's
caught
top
off guard.
shrine
They have
is
to
under
just
attack.
cheap up,
Back to you, Owen.
play tight.
No, I mean it's going to be hard this hold for TFT. As long as they could get Frost on top of the Luna,
Dire
but that's that's what they have to do. They have to try and make sure they can take
Radiant's
Mickey out of the
top
fight
shrine
before
is
his
under
team
attack.
comes in. Just has the control required for Mickey to just do the damage. His bottom lane, they're having to respond to this bit of a split push coming in from Jonas and Fam, but Jonas and Fam's already out of there. Lotus Snowball buys some
No,
time
you.
for Boxy as he will return towards Handskin. He's got the timber chain down to the low ground though. Perfect angle will save him as Boxy gets himself away. Torrent's going to be off the mark. Tiger does it to be a little bit careful too as Alliance are now split up.
This Lotus Snowball is great.
He can't die on Timber, so
No.
he has two ways to dispel this
Yeah.
Spirit Vessel,
Yeah.
dodge the combos from Kanka, and he's going for Heart now.
Heart. I like it.
With
More
boost of
status
regen.
resist.
And what's the
It
regen
doesn't
boost
give
you get?
status resistance, it gives
It's the
magic
boosted-
resistance.
And it gives the, was it 50% extra regen?
Radiant's
No,
bottom
on the
shrine
new
is under
passive,
attack.
like the constant 50% on, yeah, 50% extra on your regen.
And that doesn't, yeah, there's a holy locket on top of that as well.
I love this.
That will
this is-
amplify the
This
amplification.
is a crazy build on Timber. I saw Moo, the first game. Oh, by the way, EG got 2-0'd yesterday.
Yeah.
Facts. Those are some real facts. They got smacked. Marched out of the army, straight into the major. Big part of that, the Moo Timber in game one. And very similar build.
Oh, Tiger's in. Man, who stopped? They're going in with Floyd, but Tiger's falling low. He'll try and get himself away with the Stampede. He's still alive for now. Frost falling incredibly low, but he's going to keep himself alive as he jumps forward to Insania, but finally falls. Mickey's got the damage to bring down the PA as there's no buyback on Frost. Dead for 80 seconds. Era being chased down by Boxy. He's got the Timber Chain to keep himself on top of Chessie and Era. The Dragon Tail from Quaitfa's there, along with the Eclipse to ensure they have the damage to bring down the Kunkka. As Alliance
Boxy's
take
got
the two
faith.
cores,
He's
they'll
got him.
still find Era potentially. He's got the super.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Right click? And you know, that's a play. He's found the counter.
That's gonna say. Era will get out, but they've lost their two cores, TFT, and Roshan goes once again to Alliance. Mickey with the Aegis.
87
That brings
right
it up
now.
to about 87% win for Alliance.
I think Dota Plus
It hasn't
Dota
updated
Plus
yet.
is
It hasn't
lying.
updated yet.
I think there are a bunch of Alliance haters. Like, this is definitely a more
Only
than a
one of these-
74%
Do it again.
game.
Refresh it.
This is like, it absolutely is 80 close to 90%. Look what Alliance is doing.
Dire's top tower
Ours is only
is under
74%,
I think
Gabriel.
because it takes all the stats in mind.
I mean,
all
to
the
be
things,
okay,
right?
it likes PA, isn't it?
It does like
It
PA.
sees PA,
Yes.
it's like, oh, this hero wins a lot of games, so obviously the PA team must win.
You see how long he was stunned? How long is the stun on Grimstroke's E? Jesus! 3.8 seconds?
Yeah?
What?
It's very long, yes.
Why would...
Yeah, that's a Grimstroke right there.
That
One of the
is
reasons why he's
insane.
banned out or picked most of the time. I feel like TFT only accomplished killing
Double damage room.
Grimstroke and Centaur if he's caught out of the position. I think 3 cores of Alliance didn't die for the past 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think Insania has given his body up for his team. And other than that, no one is punished. And they're just going to walk down mid now. Timber can show, but oh god, they're just going to find Hanskin, aren't they? Hello.
TFT's got to bail on this.
Secret won game 1 of Liquid versus
What a
Secret for those
surprise
sides.
when Liquid played Miracle Techies that they lost. It's as if the game doesn't even matter. No, he didn't. Oh, right. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Liquid think about those seeding games.
Literally zones the entire team of Alliance. We gotta be careful though. I don't want to see him die too out of position. There you go. That's fine. No stacks right now on the boxy Timber. You're gonna have to tank tower a bit.
We're still on Aegis on Mickey. Taking a lot of damage there. He might get
Dagger.
burned.
Dead with the dagger.
Another phase begins.
That was without using any big spells. That pit's gonna go down in just a moment. Boxy at max armor stacks now. He can get in deep, and Mickey is just gonna start beating on that melee Rax. He's the
Yeah.
power of Luna.
Get the
Porkbus
bounces
still
up.
has his BKB available as well if he needs to. And maybe we're gonna see him use it now.
Oh shit! The Satanic though. Oh my goodness. No BKBs left on the court.
They are crushing this. This one
Yeah.
looks to be pretty close to...
Check the Dota Plus win percentage.
As Gaiden realised, oh, he's ready.
87.
87. There it is. That's the number.
They just needed to take Rax first. And a dieback or a PA and an Underlord
It's
without
again, it's just
buyback.
Alliance just getting these drafts, this play style that they're really solid with. I think two of the big ways we've seen them play is when they do their PA lineups or when they do Luna plus a bunch of beefy strength picks. It's something that Alliance is so good at, and I think when you're drafting against them, you have to be aware of this. And obviously, the TFT have had a lot of games to play. Maybe they just haven't seen this and they haven't realised that this is what Alliance is so damn strong with.
They probably only have seen Luna last pick. And this was a 4th pick Luna, so
GG.
there was no
Cool.
chance to buy
Game
it.
one goes to
I
Alliance.
think- I mean, you guys were all surprised by the last pick Timber as well because the 4-position Centaurs. They assumed it would be a boxy hero. They banned Oracle.
They banned Oracle.
were expecting a 5.
Yep.
Alliance was like, no, we're gonna actually pick an incredible 10th pick here, and I think their draft is great for a couple of big reasons. I think in this meta, this obviously it's a fresh patch, but when your two supports can function as a pair and land kills, especially in the laning phase, like that's insane. But